Warren Buffett, Master of the Market, The 9 Principles of Wise Investing and Other Secrets of Becoming a Multi-Billionaire by Steele. Buffett was always upbeat about his work, that is, about investing his money. Did he like his work because it accumulated mountains of cash for him? Or was it something else? As a boy, he said, "It's not that I want money. It's the fun of making money and watching it grow." That was the key to Buffett's character, making money. He didn't care about having it around or spending it, he just loved to make it. Once he was spending time on the West Coast and went as a tourist to visit San Simon, the gigantic mansion that William Randolph Hearst had built as a repository for millions of dollars worth of collectibles from all across the globe. After a long session of sightseeing with the talkative guide, Buffett finally burst out, "Don't tell us how he spent it. Tell us how he made it." For Buffett, there's an artistic element to making money, a literal sense of creation. When I go to my office every morning, I feel like I'm going to the Sistine Chapel to paint. He could be comical about money too. I enjoyed the process far more than the proceeds, though I have learned to live with those also. And to cap it off, he did it his way. My guess is that if Ted Williams was getting the highest salary in baseball and he was hitting .220, he would be unhappy. And if he was getting the lowest salary in baseball and batting .400, he'd be very happy. And that's the way I feel about this job. Money is a byproduct of doing something I like doing extremely well. My caloric consumption produced by this concoction is inconsequential. Assume that your basal metabolism rate is 2,800 calories per day. Simple arithmetic tells us that you must consume slightly over 1 million calories per year. In my own case, with a life expectancy of about 25 years, this means that in order to avoid premature death through starvation, I need to eat some 25 million calories. Why not get on with it? Being a gourmet was the farthest thing from his mind from the start. If food was a bore to Buffett, clothes were even less significant. He saw clothes not as enhancements of the personality, but as covers of the flesh. And he never tried to hone or recreate his image through fashion. As he frankly admitted, one of the things that attracted me to working with securities was the fact that you could live your own life. You don't have to dress for success. According to Charlie Munger, Buffett's brain is a superbly rational mechanism. And since he's articulate, you can see the brain working. And Munger has said gloomily, one of the reasons Warren is so cheerful is that he doesn't have to remember his lines. He was a quick study, and he read everything he could about the stock market, stuff that his father left lying around. Ironically, Citi's services zoomed up the scale to 200 points shortly thereafter. Warren kicked himself. Only if he had the patience to wait out the stock's rise, he could have made a small fortune. Later on, Warren articulated his views on handicapping the horses and investing in stocks in the following manner. There are a lot of similarities between handicapping and investing. There are speed handicappers and class handicappers. The speed handicapper says you try and figure out how fast the horse can run. A class handicapper says a $10,000 horse will be a $6,000 horse. Ben Graham said, "Buy any stock cheap and it will work." That was the speed handicapper. And other people said, "Buy the best company and it will work." That's class handicapping. Working with Graham was a different thing from talking classes from him. Warren discovered he had thought that they would be in and out of each other's office all the time. It was not to be. As Buffett wrote later, Graham had this kind of shell around him. Everybody liked him, everybody admired him, and enjoyed being around him. Nobody got close. Warren really is a very uncomplicated person, O'Connor said. He's a super nice guy who just keeps things simple. He has an insatiable thirst for knowledge. He reads from all sources, and he has a photographic memory that helps him recall and reconstruct things in orderly, logical fashion. He plays a little tennis and golf, and I really think he'd rather read and play bridge than anything. After its accusation by Berkshire in 1972, Wesco became known as a very steady part of Berkshire Hathaway, though in no way a spectacular part. As for acquiring new companies or as for fast growth, Warren Buffett said at the 1986 Berkshire meeting that looking for companies to acquire would be compared to a man's search for a wife or a woman's search for a husband. When Ike Friedman died on September 12, 1991, Donald Yale was named president and chief executive officer of Borsheims. Marvin Kahn was named executive vice president. Buffett became chairman of the board. Even then, he didn't change a thing. As Buffett might have said, "Don't fix what isn't broken."